With what, a Ouija board?
Ouija.
What?
It's pronounced Ouija, not Ouija. It comes from the French and German words for yes, oui and ja, Ouija.
It's Katrina Porter. Just a little psychic humor.
Oh.
You're a hoe.
There it is.
Hey, Katrina Porter.
Hi, Serene.
Welcome to What Happens Everyone Else.
Welcome, everybody.
Each episode, Katrina and I discuss a movie that both of us truly, truly, truly love, and we're serious. We really love these movies. However, only one of us gets to say anything good about the movie, and they are the pro of the episode, which means the other is the con and has to attack it, even if they love it, which we do.
Always.
Our one rule is the con only has to attack during the synopsis, but if they say anything good during that time, they're going to incur a penalty, and we'll have to say something good about a movie that they despise, which the pro gets to decide. So this week, if Katrina catches a rule break from me, we're going to hear this sound.
No fair. No fair. No fair.
It should be something
Spooky. Oh, I agree.
Because it's All Hallows Eve month.
I just said October, but yeah.
It's October. Which is spooky.
I can't wait.
That's why I'm wearing black.
You're always wearing black.
Also. You're not. You're wearing Avs colors.
Heck yeah. I can't wait to get started on our October movies. This is so exciting. It's one of our favorite times of year.
Yes, it is.
Besides December.
That too.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's something real fun about the Halloween ones.
I love doing these movies. December is our favorite time of year for like the actual holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is our favorite time of year for like the podcast doing like episodes. These episodes are the most fun to do.
Yes.
Because they're just silly.
Well, and quite frankly, I feel like the vast majority like the same Christmas movies or holiday movies, December holiday movies that we like.
Yeah.
Halloween movies, not so much.
We mix it up.
We have some ones that are, acclaimed by many critics and audiences alike. And then we have quite a few others because we were inside kids.
I do believe historically we've chosen not to do any of the acclaimed movies.
Well, 2 of our movies this month are...
This month.
Yeah, I meant just this month.
Yeah, this month. This month we're mixing it up. Previous Octobers, were they acclaimed films?
Some of them.
Really?
Yeah. Can't remember any of them right now, but...
They Live or Howling 2,
Sisters Werewolf.
Sisters Werewolf.
Or Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Okay, maybe not those.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors.
The best Nightmare on Elm Street.
It is. Welcome to your dreams. We'll haunt you and stab you.
I wish that they would change the lyrics to your lyrics. Regardless if they change every time.
Same.
I am very excited. I have some pretty ridiculous notes for this. However, we do have an unusual correction on this episode, and I'm going to pass that baton, as a sports thing, over to Katrina.
Listen, Anna is a dirty trickster. Let me just preface my retraction by saying we have mentioned a time or two that our overall alcohol consumption has significantly reduced, which is good, but not so much when we record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Anna gave me tequila, which meant that my brainials were not as razor sharp as they normally are.
This is the shittiest retraction of all. You could just say I was wrong and you were right, Anna. That's what I want to hear.
Ordinarily, I am actually really fine ordinarily admitting that I am wrong. I don't love admitting that I'm wrong about a sports thing.
Yeah, it's that it's sports.
It is that it's sports that I am having a hard time with. But I was incorrect when I so smugly said to Anna, no, the Lakers weren't originally from Minnesota. I think that's how I said it.
It's pretty close.
No, stupid.
No,
girl.
I said maybe this is a stupid question. You said,
Yeah,
that's
dummy.
Stupid. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, dumb.
I mean, I thought that was just a guess, but then I went back and watched that one section of basketball, which is where I got the whole, the Utah Jazz, where they don't allow jazz. It's actually don't allow music. But yeah, they talked about it in that. So maybe it just, tucked back far in my brain.
I have no idea and I've watched basketball. I watched a fantastic docuseries on, I think it was Showtime. I can't remember. I think it was Showtime about the Lakers. Fantastic. I'll look up the name of it. It was so good. It had like 4 or 5 episodes, but it had the daughter of the main guy who's now deceased. But I'm not talking about the one that they made that had John C. Reilly, who played the guy who was the owner.
I don't know anything about that.
It was so good. I did not know that the Lakers were once in Minnesota. I had no idea.
No shit.
No.
I based it strictly on Lakers, but it's just
On basketball?
apparently.
Yeah. I had no idea. So
we will do baseball.
yeah. So I was incorrect, and Anna,
Shockingly.
strangely enough, was correct about this. Anna's correct about most things, but when it comes to sports, I tend to be more correct.
I'd say 9 times out of 10. This being the one of 99.
9
times out of
3/4.
100.
Oh,
I'm going to take it. Give me hockey and maybe some Royals baseball, and I could probably
see what I did there?
What?
9 3/4.
Oh,
Dame Maggie Smith died.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Rest in power,
Yeah.
Dame Maggie.
So anyway, enough of that. I was wrong nonsense.
Should we talk about what movie we're doing? Because we have yet to mention it. We're like 10 minutes in.
As Anna mentioned, we're kind of mixing it up this October. We're going to do what is typical for us, which is, some would say garbage. We would say unappreciated art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
And then we're going to mix it in with what some other people might say is more acclaimed Halloween films.
Yes.
But we're going to start with one of our regular movies, which is a cult classic, 1986 Witchboard.
You guys, we're not just pulling these movies like out of our aces. We've seen this a lot.
A lot.
I would put, I'm sure some people would have like some crazy people would be like, I've seen it 100 times and actually you're serious. We have seen it more than people should see this movie, I think. It's great for us.
Love this movie. Wasn't surprised that there's very little trivia about it. Very, very little trivia. The premise of this movie is, erase that. This movie was written and directed by Kevin Tenney. This was his directorial debut.
Oh,
yeah.
good for him.
Do you want to know what else he did?
I would love it.
I'll tell you. He did other stuff.
Okay.
He did Night of the Demons.
Oh, shit.
The Cellar.
I don't know The Cellar. I guess
Peacemaker.
Wait, Cellar like C? Or like Cellar like I'm going to sell a house.
No, like
Spooky Cellar?
get down there in that cellar and get killed.
You want some popsicles? I got some popsicles down in the cellar.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And other stuff. Brain Dead, Bigfoot, Endangered Species, Demolition University, Pinocchio's Revenge. You know, the classics.
The classics.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe we didn't do Pinocchio's Revenge. Maybe next year.
Not yet. Yeah. There's so much time.
Is Tawny Katane the only person no longer living from this? I think that might be the case.
I think that's true. Kevin Tenney wrote this while he was at college after someone brought a Ouija or Ouija, depending on where you're from. Ouija board to a party. The premise of this movie basically is that a group of people are at a party and someone has a Ouija board and they play and, you know, some crazy stuff happens. Why isn't this movie then called Ouija or Ouija board? Well, that old Parker, whatchamacallit?
Parker Brothers?
Yeah, they have a real stick up their ass about that kind of thing.
Parker and Parker.
Ooh. They're like, no.
We'll sue.
Yeah. No, this movie's crap. They said.
First time director? Yeah, sure. We'd love to put our name
Right.
on that.
Yeah. No.
So Witchboard. Do you know why they came up with that? Or are you going to get into that?
Well, I mean, it's like, it's a board.
Sure.
And they summon, you know, things from the other...
Witches?
You know, no, not witches.
Brujas?
No. You know, spirits.
I didn't know if Witchboard was like a alternate name or like a nickname or something for Ouija boards.
No. They were like, what else can we use? Fast. Someone. Because it was called Ouija.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're like, quick.
You're going to learn so many things in this.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to learn probably one thing for sure, and that's how the Ouija board got its name.
Yeah, just... Oh.
Yeah, but we can get into it. I don't... Oh, gosh, do we have anything else that we're supposed to...
Well, I'm still talking.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Excuse me. You say one wrong fact about the fucking Lakers and then get cut off.
My mind's preoccupied because the Avs are in preseason and
That's
they're playing
okay.
the Dallas Stars.
It's all right. It had a budget of $1.5 million.
He got $1.5 million?
Yeah. Well, and a box office of $7 million.
Well, look at that.
I'll tell you a little bit later what helped it make a little bit of that moolah.
I would love to hear that.
I
yes.
will tell you. I will also tell you that in addition to having a brilliant, I would say, and others said it also, premise and cast and probably smoke and spooky.
There were a lot of fog machines, I think.
Lots of fog machines. This also had a kick-ass soundtrack.
Wait. Okay. I know you're in the middle of trivia, of a pre-synopsis trivia. However, just now, we had to stop recording because we kept hearing like spooky banging noises on the wall. And guys, there was nobody fucking there. Nobody's there. And it almost sounded like somebody was messing with, we were both like, guys, whoever's knocking on the door, knock it off.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that?
Huh.
The cast and crew had their fair share of eerie occurrences on the set.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Some of the crew, most of the ones that came in earlier, had significant problems like in the house, such as the crew bumping into things that weren't there, as well as things that had moved that no one else around them could have done during that time frame. One person said that they especially felt a strong presence at the staircase where someone was walking behind him. Mm-hmm. And there were a bunch of occurrences where the cast and crew heard whispering and talking.
I don't like that. If you're a ghost, you got something to say? Say it. Don't do whispers.
Announce yourself.
Yeah. Whispers don't solve anything.
I feel like I would be a whispering ghost just because I'd be a prankster.
You'd be a bossy ghost.
I would be a bossy ghost.
You'd be like, don't wear that.
Yeah.
It looks cute now, but you'll be uncomfortable in 2 hours.
Yeah. That will wrinkle.
Don't wear that.
No. You have no idea what that looks like from behind.
Go to the store and buy something better.
Yeah. I'd be like, listen, I'm no longer in my corporal being.
That would be you. I imagine my time as a ghost will be just me banging into things.
That's your real life.
That's not unlike my real life right now. I will be a very confused, bumpy ghost. I think I actually have because I stopped recording because we kept hearing, so I might actually have that sound of us going,
oh,
guys, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
All things considered. That feels kind of lucky.
Go away, you.
Oh, God. We need to get rid of my wall ghosts.
Yeah, this is my room.
All right. I don't think I have anything else before, but do you?
No.
I feel like I stepped over your trivia about 18 times, so I really, really want to make sure that you're right.
You did.
Tequila. Can we talk real quick about that we can't find our beloved religion? Your face.
We have really lost our religion.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it is really hard to fucking find. So we haven't had any of the religion honey tequila, unfortunately. But I did see a trick, and it was pretty darn yummy. So we've been drinking Don Julio and then eating orange slices, and you dip them in cinnamon sugar. and you taste that just like you would a lime. It's
Yep. I feel
good.
real bad for us. We've been slumming it with Don Julio.
And orange slices and cinnamon sugar. It's good, though.
It's delicious because Don Julio's really good tequila.
Oh, no, it's really, really great tequila, for sure. Well, are you ready to get it?
Yeah, I think we should just play the fucking song.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let the games begin.
Our movie begins with some beautifully spooky font to get us in the mood. And it is accompanied by some spooky music. I love when a movie pays attention to font.
I actually have in here that the opening music and title font is too spooky.
What?
Too spooky.
It is not too spooky.
Too spooky. I wasn't ready.
And then a big house and some fog? Yes, please.
No, thank you. How about the opening camera work looks like somebody shakily holding a camcorder?
I don't think so.
Oh, 100%.
I don't remember that.
You got all like pissy about the Lost Boys aerial shot being like too like, this is gonna make me puke.
That was because that looked like a bat was literally holding the camera.
Because he's a good director. This was shaky as fuck.
No.
Y'all seen the Blair Witch?
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Does this house look familiar?
I'm not dumb. I just want to say, I'm not a stupid person. I really am not.
I know you knew that Lakers thing, and I didn't. I'll let it go, I guess.
Well, you might as well go ahead and take back that compliment. Because I didn't know you were talking about the movie. I thought you were talking about this house, which is my house. And I'm like, yeah, it looks familiar. It's my fucking house. Oh,
no, okay. Point of clarification. Does the house in the film from the very beginning and then throughout the entire movie, does that house look familiar to you?
Yeah, because I've seen this movie a bunch.
Other than this movie?
Mm-mm.
It is the same house used in the movie Willard.
Oh, with Crispin Glover?
No, from the 70s, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Crispin, yeah, but he's not the main, Crispin Glover's not the main person in that.
I think that might have been a remake that he did, but he's in Willard, and I thought he was the lead.
But no, I'm talking about from 1971.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and also Waxwork.
What? Get the fuck out.
Yeah. The owner of this house would only lease it to movies that were going to be starting with a W. Willard Waxwork.
Waxwork.
Like that was their weird clause.
Are you fucking serious? With
Yes.
the sequel too? Oh no, they did a different house.
No,
for
they did a
Waxwork.
different house.
Oh no. No. Your face. Uh-oh. God damn it. People think I'm kidding. Sometimes I'm kidding about believing things, but not usually. I'm just really gullible. God damn it! You guys don't understand. Katrina has a poker face that you would not believe. You guys hear like little hee giggles and stuff like that, but I don't hear it. It's just you hear it because there's no microphone. God damn it! Fuck you.
It's party time, and we are in peak 80s with this group. Guess who is here? It's Patch from Days of Our Lives.
What's Patch's real name?
His actual name is Stephen Nichols, and he plays Brandon. And sitting next to him, looking absolutely gorgeous, is none other than Miss Tawny Katane, and she plays Linda. And they are having a serious conversation about God and the creation of the universe. And this is an argument for cocaine, because who has this conversation at a party without your brain being at an 11?
I don't know. But Tawny Katane was definitely talking about God, and I assume because her hair is like, the higher the hair, the closer to heaven.
Yeah.
Because it was reaching for the stars. That hair was, even for the 80s, was ridiculous.
What?
And why is Patch, I can't call him Brandon. Do I have to call him Brandon?
Yes, his name's Brandon. His character's name is Brandon, not Patch.
Fine. Why is Brandon Patch touching Tawny Katane so much? That feels really inappropriate because they're not a couple, right?
Right, but they're friends. They've known each other for decades and decades and decades.
Friends. No romantic attachments.
No, not now.
Okay.
At this part in the party, we do get the theme song to the movie, which is badass.
Badass song.
Oh yeah, it's called Bump in the Night. It's performed by Steel Breeze.
In the middle of the summer, in the middle of the night, she was there from her own heartbeat. Still she heard something move, it was just out of sight, and the morning was way out of reach. Questions may be answered by the light of the day. So far away, so bump in the night. Bump in the night.
Steel Breeze.
Yeah.
That was my prison name. Steel Breeze sounds like a deodorant.
What?
Steel Breeze sounds like a fishing village in Detroit.
This song smacks.
I refuse to believe that this is a good song.
Okay. The first stanza is in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the night, she was deaf from her own heartbeat.
Deaf?
Yeah.
So they're making fun of deaf people.
No, they're not making fun of deaf people.
They're minimalizing
They're
it.
like, her heart was beating so fast from fear,
Uh-huh.
she couldn't hear.
Oh, well, she needs a doctor. There's some serious heart palpitations. Deafness is not going to be her main concern. She's going to be dead. Deadness.
Oh, Kevin, the director?
Yeah.
His brother, Dennis Michael Tenney, he wrote the song and he did all the music for the...
What?
I know, you would think nepotism, but then when you hear it, you go, well, this makes perfect sense because he's obviously a musical genius.
I would assume nepotism because of the 1.0 budget.
What?
You'd have to be bringing in some friends and family.
He also did the music for The Prophecy.
Who? The brother?
Yeah.
Was it as Steel Breeze?
No, it was as David Michael Tenney.
Oh. Well, The Prophecy is good, and I can say that.
Yeah, and so is this song, because it's awesome.
Hey, look at me in my eyes. Look at me in my witchy Steel Breeze eyes.
Yeah.
Look at me in my Steel Breeze eyes.
Yeah?
Did he really write the music for The Prophecy?
Yes, I swear.
Okay, well, you got me doubting everything.
I mean, he didn't write he composed it. He did the music for.
Yeah.
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 I call that writing.
I mean, another line is, the stairway's a dragon when you turn out the light, and then things go bump in the night.
What do you mean the stairway's a dragon?
You know what? It's open to interpretation. That's how rad this song is.
Do the stairways go...
What does that mean to you?
Elliot from Pete's Dragon.
Okay, then see? How pleasant is that?
No, I want stairs to be stairs. I want stairs to have their actual function, and I want dragons to be dragons and have their own function. This is not me being a bigot. I just like things the way I like functional things to be functional.
But what if you are tired and you don't want to walk up the stairs, and then whoops, there's Elliot just taking you up the stairs. Boom. Aren't you glad you got a dragon?
What if it's a dragon like in Dragon Slayer, the Vermitrex pejorative? Did you forget that was the name? That was an angry dragon.
Well,
I'm not going to walk on that dragon.
no.
Not with that name.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. Only Elliot's. Remember when I said that this movie made $7 million at the box office?
I do recall that, yeah.
And that something gave it a little bit of a boost?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that something was Tawny Katane. She shot the infamous Here I Go Again Whitesnake video during post-production of this movie, and it came out roughly the same time this movie came out, which gave this movie a bit of a boost because that video is hot. Guess who she was dating when filming started?
I'm going to guess David Coverdale, the lead singer of Whitesnake, which is why she was in the video.
That's who she was dating once she did that video.
Oh, okay. No. Is she dating somebody? Is she dating the director?
No.
Oh, who?
Yes.
Brandon Patch?
No, not Stephen Nichols.
Okay, whatever. Is the answer Jesus? Oh, I know. Gina Davis.
It was not Gina Davis. That would have been
It's going to be right one of these days.
way safer.
One of these days. But way safer. Uh-oh. I'm going to say Phil Spector?
No, but getting warmer.
Uh-oh.
Sort of.
Charles Manson? I don't know. Tell me. I'm on the edge of my
Warmer?
On the edge of my booster seat. Warmer? Oh, no fucking way. Did she date a serial killer? Did
Not
she
a,
date a killer?
so, I mean, cereal's more than one.
Tell me. We all want to know.
OJ.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Huh. Wasn't he cleared in a court?
Okay.
That's hilarious. If I did it. This bitch.
Brandon says something a little challenging to party host Jim, who's played by Todd Allen, that suggests Jim might have a family history of substance abuse, and I think Brandon is just trying to make sure that Jim stays on the straight and narrow. He's not being a dick.
Yes, he is. And that wasn't challenging at all. He just implied that his friend, former best friend, is an alcoholic. Just like his father, I believe is actually what he says. Just like your father.
Okay, was that nice?
No.
No, but I wonder if maybe they've gotten to like the tough love stage of their friendship.
It's just tough. There's no love. All the love is lost.
He's not a spoonful of sugar kind of guy. Oh, Brandon.
He's like JJ Bittenbiter.
Yeah.
Brush your teeth. Bam. Orange juice. That's
Yeah.
life.
Yes, that's him.
I don't like that though.
Well, it's not how we would give feedback.
No, because nobody should, because it's you don't treat people like that. Even people you don't know, you just ask them if they're an alcoholic just like their father.
Well, he's not asking him. They know each other. They have history.
And he implied it.
There's some tension there.
I didn't even think that was an implication.
It wasn't really, because then
he was pretty direct about it.
Then old Jim goes into the kitchen and starts pounding some more booze.
I mean,
he does do that.
If somebody was accusing me of being an alcoholic, just like your father, I probably wouldn't go drink more. But
yeah, that part wasn't. I didn't like that. I thought that was a bad from Brandon. That was a no.
Brandon Patch.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Todd Allen has been in a ton of stuff and he looks really familiar.
That's Jim?
That's Jim, yeah.
I only knew him from, I think, Wyatt Earp.
He was in Wyatt Earp. He was in Mask.
The Mask? Like Cuban Pete? Or
No, Mask.
Is in like...
Mask with the Cher and Eric Stoltz and...
Did she win an Oscar? No.
No, she's only won for Moonlight.
Moonstruck.
Moonstruck.
Oh, she wasn't even nominated?
She had to have been nominated.
Right. So was Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott was great in that.
He's always great.
He is.
Eric Stoltz was great in that. Oh my gosh. Who's the female? Oh, is Laura Dern.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She blonde.
Yeah.
Helen Keller once said. Go back and listen to Volunteers episode.
He was also in Swing Shift, 48 Hours. Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, Linda is a little ticked off at Brandon, who we learned she used to date. She is now dating Jim, and she goes to let Jim know, hey, maybe Brandon is a bit of a dick, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't enjoy this party that maybe we shouldn't be having because you maybe struggle with a little bit of alcohol abuse.
Doesn't somebody ask him about Brandon's full name?
Ask Jim or Brandon?
I think they ask I think they're just commenting on it. They're like, isn't that Brandon Sinclair? And they're like, the Sinclair Vineyards? The Sinclair Vineyards? That actually does sound like a soap opera character.
It does.
Brandon Sinclair.
Brandon Sinclair. I loved Stephen Nichols on Days of Our Lives when he was Patch. Patch and Kayla.
Patch and Kayla. Oh, when they made love on the roof. Is it to Take My Breath Away?
Take my breath. Yes.
I think that's, oh my God, why do we remember that?
Brandon is clearly someone who believes in the afterlife, just not the Son, Father, and the Holy Ghost kind of afterlife thing. And he is being challenged by another party goer who's like, hey, how can you believe in little green men and not the almighty G's? I bet you all didn't know we were throwing in a philosophical movie this October, did you?
I didn't.
Well, here it is.
That's not philosophy.
It is.
Philosophy.
Kind of is, right?
I don't know. I didn't go to school for no fucking philosophy. I almost said like 3 different ologies there. I somehow found my path.
Brandon is telling the group about interacting with a Ouija board, and I feel like you have something to say about the origin of a Ouija board in this movie.
I don't have something to say about it. I have something to say about his delivery because he is unbelievably smug. And that really pisses me off because I loved Patch. But Brandon is a dickhead. He's an absolute dickhead. He's condescending, patronizing. He's like, the name, somebody says Ouija, and he goes, it's not Ouija, it's Ouija, meaning from the French and German, we and ja. Yes and yes, which also sucks because a Ouija board, you know, fuck him, because a Ouija board has yes and no. So why isn't like we know? We know. That would have been way a better name. We know because it's a double, you know, it's.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean? What's
I don't think that sounds like a good name though.
We know?
Yeah, not
We know.
We know.
Like the ghost, no.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I can tell you yes is a stupid name for a game.
Well, I think that this is a great time to shout out our listeners in Germany.
Oh yeah, hi Germany.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, yeah. That means yes. You're one half of a Ouija board. He's a dick. That's Brandon. Linda is far too unconcerned. That's Tawny Katane. And, Jim is a dick. Linda is far too unconcerned. And Brandon is a, what's that term you like again, Katrina?
Insufferable know-it-all.
Insufferable know-it-all.
You're an insufferable know-it-all.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a counterpoint game. A counterpoint game to Ouija.
No.
Yeah, that's part of it. I'm going to call it No 9.
This movie provides a little bit of history. You're welcome. Brandon and Jim don't seem to like each other. So Linda has a great idea to distract the 2 alpha bros by using the Ouija. Linda and Brandon give the Ouija a spin, and they reach out to a spirit named David, who died 30 years ago. A child named David. Well,
no, first Linda.
Yeah.
Suggests that they do the Ouija board.
Yeah.
And then suggests it again.
Yeah.
And then when it's time, they're like, hey, Linda, let's play. And she's like, no, not me. Couldn't be me. Like, oh, one of these.
Oh, she's kind of shy.
She wasn't shy when she was suggesting that they do a Ouija board, and then also when she did that hair. That's not shy hair.
That hair beats to its own rock and roll drummer.
I just assumed that she burnt her own personal little hole in the ozone layer with how much Aqua Net it would have taken to.
Oh, stop it.
It was humongous. I know, because you thought it was silly as well.
No, I didn't. David is stoked to join the party, and when Brandon asks him if he will return to the living, he says yes, and that he will be able to choose his parents. But Jim gets Casper pissed off by trolling him a little bit, and David retaliates by slashing Brandon's tires since Brandon was in charge of the board and should have said no drunk assholes allowed to participate. What?
How did David slash his tires?
With this mind.
A mind slash?
Yeah.
Why tires?
Do you know how fucking annoying that would be to leave a party and have your tire slashed?
Yes, it would be incredibly annoying. And I imagine an adult would find that really, really annoying. A kid from 30 years ago, I don't think would have been like, I'm pissed, let's slash some tires.
I, if it was me, would have put that in my clue book.
Yes, you sure would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, slashing tires, that seems silly. And they just immediately were like, yep, that was David, all right. What a naughty child.
Well, because Brandon said, I know it's David because we have a little
secret.
A little secret that we do on the Ouija board. Because at first when Brandon does it, they ask a question and the spirit that shows up didn't answer Brandon's question. And Brandon stops it. He's like, nope, fuck off, ghost. You're a bad guy.
Not David.
Not David.
Don't want to talk to you unless you're this one soul spirit.
Well, he wanted to bring someone into the party that he knew was going to be cool, was going to be chill.
He should have been cool and chill. Instead of coming in hot. It's Ouija.
I think he's a little insecure and he overcompensates by just being a little bit, look what I know.
Yeah, let's check me out. I smell my own farts.
I own a vineyard.
You mean of the Sinclair Vineyards?
Yeah, to me, that is a cool flex.
The Sinclair Vineyards?
A vineyard.
Why wasn't he drinking wine?
Because he was driving and he's responsible. And he knows that Jim is going to be acting a fool and he needs to make sure that Linda is taken care of because he loves her. Obviously.
Not once is he drinking a bottle of the family wine.
Maybe he's in recovery.
Then if he's in recovery, he definitely shouldn't be shouting out to Jim, you're an alcoholic just like your father.
Maybe he's a little judgy. You know, sometimes when people quit smoking and then they all become all judgy about other people that smoke. I mean, I didn't do that when I quit smoking. I think you did. But some people do that.
Well, I can't wait for that chuckle fuck to die. And, oh no, I meant I don't like any of the other people. I specifically don't like the friend that, like, John Cusack wannabe that, like, planned his entire outfit or costume around his sunglasses.
Oh, the guy with the bandana? Yeah. He kept his bandana from the set because he was a big Bruce Springsteen fan.
I think he kept the bandana from the set because he wanted a bandana. Okay, right.
Wow. You know what? I feel like you talking about Brandon being judgy is a little bit of projection.
Maybe. Ooh, a projection.
Ooh.
You know, we joked briefly about, like, getting out like a Ouija board, didn't do like a video for this. And I'm like, we don't have that. All I have is like a teeny tiny little thing of mints that my daughter has. It's like a Ouija board. That would have been silly.
The next day, Jim and pals are at work at a construction site, and Jim has a friend that doesn't seem to take site safety seriously, but no worries. We learn that Jim and Brandon were best friends as kids, and that Jim's parents were alcoholics. So Jim and Brandon spent a ton of their time together, but that Brandon thinks Jim stole Linda from him, and that's why their friendship ended. That's sad.
Oh, it's always going to be, you know what?
Somebody, they're putting the pussy on a pedestal.
Yep. You just can't let that happen.
Can't
y'all.
get that.
I don't care what the genitalia is. Don't let that get in the middle of a friendship.
No.
By the way, Linda was kind of pissed off at Jim from the how did you go over all of the things that Jim was a complete shithead in this last one. First of all, he seriously pissed off Linda, apparently, because she was like giving him like the silent treatment for 5 seconds. I got to think that it would be more realistic for her to be giving a complete silent treatment or for him to be buried in a shallow grave.
That is, I'll concede that. She didn't say, I'm fine.
Not once.
Or, huh. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Period.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, really? She didn't say any of those things.
None of that. She was just like, oh, Jim. And then she did like a I love you. And then motherfucker thinks he's Han Solo. He's like, I know. Okay. Cheesy crazy.
Don't call me cheesy crazy.
And I'm supposed to believe that Jim is a construction worker and his friend wouldn't immediately be fired for throwing his hammer axe thingy at Jim's head as a joke. That's silly. And also, who carves their initials into their hammer axe?
Don't lots of people do that?
I don't know. I don't even know if that exists. And I refuse to believe that Jim and Brandon Patch were besties, but he didn't actually know that he was dating Linda. Brandon knew that Jim was dating Linda. That was bullshit. There's a lot of holes in this story.
No, they talk about it later on. One of them was away at school, so the other one didn't realize that they were dating. Remember? One was away at Washburn University being an Ichabod.
I'm a little Ichabod. No, but I mean, they don't have phones. This was the 80s. I'm positive they had phones.
They didn't have phones.
Girl, no one likes Jim. He sucks.
Back to work. Oh, fuck. A ton of sheetrock just dropped on his buddy's head. He's dead.
Do I get a button push if I say I'm glad he's dead? His name is Lloyd, by the way. I'm
Lloyd.
If I was glad when Lloyd died, is that a button push? Yeah, I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit. You keep going.
Meanwhile, Linda contacts David, and she wants to know if her pregnancy test is positive, and he says yes, but she can't be his parents because Jim is a douchebag. But he will help her out, and he lets her in on where her missing diamond ring is.
David the ghost?
Yeah.
Why does he know where it is?
Because he sees everything.
Like the drains?
Yeah.
The pipes?
Maybe that's where he hangs out.
She's going to use a wrench with those nails?
Well, she uses a toothbrush to get it out.
That's right. After she breaks her nail. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Jim comes home and lets Linda know that his work buddy is sort of dead. Completely. Lieutenant Dewhurst shows up at the funeral, and he has some questions about old Lloyd's death. And he says the ropes on the sheetrock were cut. What?
Doesn't he say something? He was trying to say something about like magicians or whatever, and he says Sigmund and Roy.
I thought that was kind of funny.
What an idiot.
He's not an idiot. He's just kind of a jokester. Brandon and Linda are having a chitty chat, and Anna may have some questions about Brandon is wearing, and if so, I will tell you it's a very fashionable Adidas tracksuit, and Run DMC would like a word if you have a different opinion.
Well, Run DMC looked cool, and they also had my Adidas on. This is silly. This is silly. It's not quite as silly as Linda's hat that she wore to the funeral. That was goddamn ridiculous.
I didn't think it was goddamn ridiculous at all. I thought it was gosh darn great.
Really? You'd wear a fedora to a funeral?
I would in 1986.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Mm-mm.
Yes, I would, because I would have been 9, and that would have been ironic.
No, our mom would have smacked it off your head and say, "Don't be disrespectful, you little shit." She wouldn't have said that. Mm-mm. But definitely she would have smacked it off your head. You wouldn't even, no, that's silly. Nobody it doesn't matter.
No, hats are itchy. I wouldn't wear, but I'm not a hat person. But, if you want to wear a hat, maybe she had very unruly hair. She had so much hair. Maybe she just needed to calm that shit down.
Probably from when she was like, teasing it to the stars.
You have a lot to say about her appearance, and I don't appreciate that as a woman.
I don't say anything about her face or her body or anything. I'm saying about her fashion choices.
We're going to talk about her body in a little bit.
We are.
Linda lets Jim know she is pregnant, and she tells him she loves him. And he again responds with his typical, I know. Show some emotion, Jim.
Yeah, Jim. God damn. All of a sudden, a woman swears, and all of a sudden she must be crazy. Only answer for it. That's why women swear, all right. Let's unpack that I love you, I'm pregnant. That was crazy.
What about it?
I just say that women can swear if they want to swear. And I don't think Jim is good enough for her. Not even close.
I agree. If I stopped swearing, I think Ty might think that my uterus grew back. And that I'd be pregnant.
Yeah, if you stopped swearing.
If I stopped swearing.
You're like, uh-oh. What did I do?
Yeah, if I was like, darn it, Ty. Or if I was like, Leia, you doo-doo.
Oh, it reminds me of that Orbit gum commercial.
You son of a biscuit-eating bulldog!
What the French toast?
Did you think I wouldn't find out about your little doo-doo head cootie queen?
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lint licker?
Pickle, you cum.
Linda's back talking with David, and she tries to set some limits with him, and he lets her know that he is not interested in that pretty subtly, and there's nothing else to say about that.
No, it's Howard is racking up points about how much of a dipshit douche Jim is. I mean, I feel like we kind of got the point. That feels like bad writing. Like, we get it. He sucks.
Well, Jim is complicated. Brandon's complicated. That's one of the things I love about this movie is they're complicated characters.
How am I supposed to root for Jim? I don't root for him for anything. He sucks.
You don't root for Jim. It sounds like he had a complicated childhood and that he managed that by staying with his good friend Brandon, who then kind of abandoned him when Brandon wanted to be with Linda, and then Brandon was like, kick rocks. So then Jim was then abandoned again. So Jim didn't really have anyone.
No. Brandon Patch dated Linda.
Yeah.
First. And then Jim swooped in after they had broken up. So it wasn't Brandon betraying Jim. It's the other way around. And also, you can't pull a hurt people type thing. A reason is not an excuse. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that you can just say, I was hurt, so I'm going to be a dipshit to everybody around. You're just going to have to accept this shit.
Well, no, I don't think that. I'm just saying that I do think that Jim is a complicated person for a reason. And I think that because he was hurt when he was young, as kids that come from alcoholic parents can sometimes be, he's closed himself off emotionally. And so he doesn't tell Linda he loves her, and he doesn't get emotionally close to people because he's been hurt. So he comes across as a douchebag.
I think he is a douchebag.
Could be.
I don't want to root for him.
And Linda seems pretty codependent.
Why are there nobody really likable in this?
You don't like Linda?
I think Linda makes some poor choices.
Well, sure, but I like her.
You do.
I kind of like David.
The ghost?
Sure.
I'm going to put a pin in that.
I like someone coming up.
Okay.
Just you wait. Linda has been using the Ouija board and could possibly be possessed.
Oh, that must be why she's swearing so much. Obviously.
Brandon says that the spirit starts off real friendly and helpful, but that after a while he starts to get a little bitchy, may start to wreak a little havoc. It's called progressive entrapment.
It's called bored ghosts.
No, do you know what other movie that was in that this kind of rips off of a little bit?
Possessive entrapment?
Progressive entrapment.
What is it? Progressive entrapment? I just, based on the house and that sort of thing, I would have guessed the Amityville Horror.
No.
What?
Exorcist.
Oh, I would very much like to talk about the dream sequence that Linda has, though, before you move on.
Why?
Well, just based on the spectral ghost child singing and the wind and fog machines in the casket, and also the Ouija board atop said casket, and the tan and flowy fabric dress, I'm going to say this is a spooky dream.
That sounds like an amazing dream.
They must have, I mean, if they actually showed her sleeping and then cut over to the dream, that's the only way it could have been more obvious that this was a dream sequence.
She looked beautiful.
I don't know. It seemed a little too on the nose for me.
Jim decides to get in a little dig and says it's also called pregnancy, says the man who's never been pregnant. But then there's a call from the landlady who says shit went down in the apartment, and Linda tells him David is acting a fool.
What shit? You mean that ketchup knife gag that was so insanely hilarious, as well as the scream she made 4 hours after it happened?
No, she just doesn't want to. Linda is so thoughtful. She does not want to startle people if she doesn't have to. She's thoughtful like that. She is not going to bother anyone if she doesn't have to.
Poor woman. She at some point, she is, get your inner Helen ready. And, I am woman, hear me fucking roar.
Brandon is like, told you so, motherfucker. Jim agrees to allow Brandon to bring a medium by the house. And this person is one of the best characters, dare I say,
Dare.
in cinema about Ouija boards.
Oh, well, I haven't seen Witchboard 2, so I can't say.
Trust me.
I will tell you, though, and I mean this, and you know how much I said in the beginning, how much I loved this movie as a child.
Yes.
Brandon Patch and Jim should never have scenes together, ever, because they are terrible acting against each other. Terrible. Their scenes hurt to watch. Poor Brandon Patch is like, I'm on soap operas where we get the script the day of and we act better than this. This is awful.
So are you saying that Jim isn't a good actor?
I'm saying that the two of them are not good.
They don't have good chemistry.
They don't have good chemistry, but they're not good. They don't act well when they're like in a scene together. And there are many scenes together, and not once does it. They might as well just be holding their scripts. It is not good. It is not the strongest.
Well, the good news is we have medium Zarabeth.
That's not a real name.
I would argue that no names are real names. They're all made up names.
Okay. Ow, my brain.
She is played by Kathleen Wilhoite. Perfectly.
Exhausting.
I might add, and she tells Jim he has himself one gnarly spirit.
Just a little psychic humor.
I love her.
Remember I said that at the beginning?
Yeah.
I probably should have said it like 6 times, and then it would have made more sense. Just
Stop.
a little psychic humor.
She is good. She is funny, and she is a very likable character. Always.
Bummer. I forgot my crystal ball. Just a little psychic humor. I don't really have a crystal ball. Okay, let's talk to some ghosts.
Is it a button push if I said if I said that she was what I remembered the most?
Yes, it's a button push.
Why? I didn't say it. I asked if that was like a button push. I want a clarification. I don't give you button pushes all the time whenever you ask.
She's a memorable character, you dirty hoe.
That's not what I'm saying is like of the things in the movie. That's not a button push. I didn't say it. I just said okay, fine. Fuck shit.
Okay, step lightly is all I'm saying. Step lightly about Zarabeth. It's fine. Step lightly,
No.
you dirty hoe.
No. Give me the.
I'm not going to be getting any messages from Keeve that I gave you a light button push.
I think he would say that I deserve a button. All right, I'll deny a button push for sure. I had a lot in the last episode. That one real came. Yeah, it means they always come as a surprise, but that one really came as a surprise.
Which one?
In volunteers. Okay, well, I'm just saying that Zarabeth is silly.
She is silly, but I think if you have a job that's this serious, it's probably good to have some silliness to try to, counteract.
Zarabeth's David is especially silly.
Kathleen Wilhoite has been in a shit ton of movies. Most of them are 80s slashers, but I love her in Roadhouse when she unabashedly checks out Dalton's ass when she's bringing him breakfast.
I forgot she was in that.
Yes. She's the barmaid.
Did I ever tell you whenever you have to put in your name at Chipotle that my name that I always gave them was Dalton's throat rip?
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that one and Patrick Swayze all the waysy.
Oh.
Which TM. I want that on a shirt, and that's something I made up, so I want it.
Nice.
I hope nobody else came with it.
Jim pulled a guy move and didn't fucking tell Linda that they were having guests, let alone a spiritual conduit.
Is this her place?
Yes.
Oh my God. I would murder and then haunt a Ouija board so I can murder again if somebody if Adrian tried to pull that if Ty tried to pull that shit with you. And you're like, I haven't even gotten my house ready. Oh my God, I can't imagine. I don't want to. You know what? Let's move on.
I'm actually getting a little bit of heartburn right now just thinking about it. Zarabeth is full of jokes, which is just a little bit of psychic humor is on his head. She says, "Okay, let's talk to some ghosts. Go on." They do a bit of a seance, and David possesses Zarabeth's body, and he says he loves Linda, but that Jim is a real vagine blocker. I think David's onto something here. Brandon says, David, you got to get the fuck out because you've kind of been a dick, and I'm the only approved dick around here because I have a vineyard.
His family owns the vineyard.
Right.
Thank you.
David, until you can get yourself some wine, then you got to shape up or ship out.
Why is Brandon Patch massaging Linda's shoulders?
Because he's a good friend. That sounds amazing.
That's not a friend. That's somebody, that's an ex who is not ready to be an ex. And also, Zarabeth's clothes and accessories are so fucking noisy.
They are.
Oh, that would make me crazy.
I know, but she's just like, shaky, 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 shaky.
Do you like wind chimes?
I didn't, but I do. Living at Clear Lake has made me love wind chimes.
All of them?
I think I love all wind chimes.
What if somebody was walking down the street wearing nothing but wind chimes?
That's not a wind chime. That's a public disturbance.
That's what she is.
No, she's quirky. David says sorry and gets real sad, which Linda totally falls for. She's wondering if the baby, if she was a little harsh with David, but everyone was like, shut the fuck up, Linda. Zarabeth is like, TTFN, and she and Brandon take off.
What's TTFN?
Ta-ta for now.
I'll have to say something about that later.
Oh, okay. Maybe it means Taco Tuesday fun night.
That's so much better than what I thought. I was going to say tough titties, fuck nuts.
Ooh, love that.
Tough titties is a great phrase, and I need to be using that more.
Yeah.
No, I will have to go over TTFN when I'm out of the synopsis.
Okay. Zarabeth and Brandon take off, and Zarabeth has some more psychic humor. She goes, I see danger ahead if you miss my house.
Just a little psychic humor.
I think it's funny.
You're funny.
Zarabeth, aw.
Your face is funny.
Thanks.
What was this?
Clown.
That looked like... Oh. I'm sorry. Did you slightly move? And now you have a broken shoulder?
I just lifted my shoulder. No, I'm impaired.
Swear to God, sometimes, I know we just mentioned it, but sometimes I really do feel like we're the Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn at the end of Death Becomes Her. Like, we are fucking falling apart. I bet everybody listening is like, calcium, bitches. Just drink some calcium.
No, it just goes right through. Anyway, Zarabeth says, all kidding aside, something is pretty icky. That David is a rascal. She's going to check her psychic book, but something has entered her apartment and is fucking with her. But just when she thinks everything is okay, she gets chucked out the window.
By a camera.
Stop it. Okay, so...
She did say the name. Like during the seance, because I've got it in my notes.
The name?
Yeah. She says Malfader.
Oh, yeah, Malfader. I mentioned that later on.
Okay. But, I mean, I think that was she mentions it there because that's what she goes to look up in her apartment.
Right. This Malfader is a real motherfucker, but we'll talk about that in a second.
I mean, it's Malfader. I mean, it's like malfeasance. Like, they should have really seen it coming.
Kind of sounds like Malfoy.
Oh my God. Do you remember when we were watching that show last night and the guy's last name was Raper?
Yes.
Oh, poor guy. Spoiler alert, doesn't turn out well for Mr. Raper. And not because he rapes. As far as I know, he doesn't. Yeah. Did you happen to notice that all of his kids in that, though, have different names, including his son?
Well, but his 2 daughters kept Raper.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they changed their names.
No, the 2 daughters. The sons.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They should probably get rid of that.
There's a show on Max called Murders on Elm Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all the episodes, and it's a docuseries, all the episodes are about murders in different states that happen on Elm Street. And they don't fuck around with these murders, people.
Not the East Coast cops.
The first episode is the best. I mean, they really start out with the best cops in Boston. These guys are great.
That and the story is bananas. Holy shit.
Bananas.
We were watching it and going, how have we not heard of this? This is bonkers.
Crazy. They're all pretty good, but the first one has the crazy story and the best cops.
Yes. Although I did like the cops in the second one as well. I thought they were like really, when we said we're like, I mean, like they were on it. I mean, it's clear that these are no nonsense. These are not like just a little bit of nonsense.
No.
Like
none nonsense.
Like the cop in this, the Sigmund and Roy
oh,
shit.
Stop.
But I mean, no, but the last one.
Yeah. They didn't. Okay, speaking of docuseries, the one that we've mentioned a bunch, which I'm blanking on now, the horror film, The Search of Darkness?
Yes, In Search of Darkness.
Okay. If you watch that, they go over this movie in there, and I just said her name.
We're gonna have to look it up because there's 3 of them, and I can't remember which one she's in. Maybe because you watched the second one first? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll find out.
Well, Kathleen Wilhoite, who plays Zarabeth, she talks about this scene where she dies and the trick that it happens, because she gets thrown out a window and she gets impaled basically, and she kept like walking around the set with this like thing sticking out of her, and it kind of looked like Jaws. It was pretty crazy, but it's
not a good death.
It's not a good death. No.
Even with her decor, she doesn't deserve that.
Oh, Jesus. Brandon realizes that Linda didn't put the Ouija board in the box, and that he thinks David, that wispy rascal, is up to more shenanigans.
Rascally business?
Yeah.
So just to be clear, Brandon Patch fell asleep to his TV full blast. That's not unusual, but then happens to awake exactly right before the newscaster starts talking about Zarabeth?
Yeah.
I put in my notes, what's Nipple Shaver up to? But I feel like I should have mentioned that earlier, we had quite a debate when we were watching the movie as to whether or not Jim shaves his nipples. And your husband was on my side with this.
I disagree with you both.
He's a nipple shaver.
I don't think so.
That's a nipple shaver if I've ever seen one.
I don't.
He's got a full. He's like a goddamn rainforest of furry chest.
I don't think so.
Chest fur, except for his nipples.
I disagree.
You should be saying no 9 to that nonsense.
I disagree.
And once again, I say Brandon Patch and Nipple Shaver should not have scenes together.
Brandon feels like maybe David has been lying to him this whole time, and maybe he isn't a 10-year-old boy after all. But now Brandon and Jim have kind of made up for Linda's sake, And basically, this movie is about bringing people together.
Why don't they think he's a 10-year-old boy?
Because there's been some clues that now that he's starting to be a little bit more rascally, they're like, hey, how did that 10-year-old know to slash my tires? He's kind of messing with Linda a little bit. He's really aggressive.
Yeah. Told you,
he likes cigars.
Says, shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. Oh no, that was my 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, that was you. That was what he said to you.
Shut you stupid bitch.
Stupid bitch.
Yeah, so I'm going to say this very easily could have been a 10-year-old boy.
No, this could have been your 10-year-old boy.
I'm not the only one with a 10-year-old that does nonsense like that.
This David wasn't a demon.
My son's not a demon.
Okay, anyway, where are we? Linda tries to use the Ouija again, but David tries a little fuckery and tosses her around the apartment, and she ends up being knocked unconscious. Oh no.
Oh, please. I've seen the entity. That is not being thrown around a bedroom, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's just Tuesday night, am I right?
To the windows, to the walls.
Yeah, absolutely not. I can't fucking move without my shoulder hurting.
Dude, seriously.
I know. At the hospital, Lieutenant Dewhurst says that before old Zarabeth took a spill out the window, her throat was slit. What? And lo and behold, it was slit by the same knife that cut the rope at the construction site that killed Jim's buddy. What?
Was it Mike?
Mike? Was it Mike the knife? From Volunteers?
Again, watch Volunteers.
Watch Volunteers.
Listen to the Volunteers episode.
Also, the doc comes out and let Jim know that Linda isn't preggers. It turns out that David was fucking with her again. That is not nice.
No. Who says I got a D in manners? Is that the cop?
I think so.
Why do I say an entire elephant disappears? Any idea? I wrote entire elephant disappears, Thomas Edison, which is true. I just don't know why I put it in my notes here.
Jim goes to find Brandon and says, hey, instead of comforting my not pregnant girlfriend, who seemed like she wanted to be pregnant, I'm going to go with you instead to figure out this David mystery. They do a little research on the death of David and find out that he did die when he was 10, and they decide to pay a visit to his parents. But first, for reasons that make a lot of sense, they check out the cemetery where he and his parents are buried, and it turns out that David's parents died 2 weeks ago. Wonder how that happened. Bum, bum, bum.
Is the answer Jesus?
No.
COVID? Everybody.
It's
all about. Oh yeah, it's pre-COVID. Jim, you actually don't have to read it aloud if both people are reading. That really it sucks. And also, he does like that. I've got a bad feeling about this. Let me guess. The writer likes Empire Strikes Back, just based on the I've got a bad feeling, and I love you. I know, Leia. I mean, Linda. It's when she gets out, she just straight up wears Brandon Patch's shirt, and I gotta say, there's no way Jim was okay with that. Again, that's her ex-boyfriend, and she's wearing his shirt.
But Jim doesn't really seem like the type of guy that lets people borrow his clothes or anything.
Dude.
If you're not going to let someone borrow your clothes, you can't be upset if they wear someone else's clothes. Them's the rules.
Dude.
Sorry. This is a very, very important part of the movie. Okay. Brandon and Jim have a heart-to-heart. And Brandon tells Jim that he knows Jim didn't steal Linda from him, but that every time he sees Jim and Linda together, he says stupid shit because he loves Linda and he misses him.
Whoa. What was that?
He misses her, which seemed like a remarkably self-aware thing for Brandon to admit, and they have a laugh, and I think they're going to rekindle their childhood friendship. Which is great.
No way.
Meanwhile, Linda is wandering around the hospital as you do. But no worries, it was just a dream of a bearded man in a suit decapitating her. No big deal.
That's Malfader?
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
He's a dick.
He is.
I don't like it.
He's in good company. Brandon and Jim are at the dock where David died.
Who else is a dick?
Jim, Lloyd, Brandon.
The cop.
No, the lieutenant's just kind of a jokester.
So basically all the men. Basically all of the men in this movie are kind of shitty. And the females are the ones that have everything figured out? Is that what I'm to understand?
No, I'm not sure that David is a dick.
David doesn't exist. I mean, he exists, but not like we don't encounter David at all.
I bet Linda's doctor is a nice guy.
I don't know. We never see him.
Brandon and Jim are at the dock where David died, and they are communicating with the Ouija board. He says that they are also communicating with evil, and his name is Malfader.
That's an evil name, all right.
Yeah, it is. Before they can get more information, it becomes clear that an evil presence is there.
What?
Well, poor Brandon gets chopped in the head with a hammer. Probably the one that Lieutenant's What's-His-Face is going to accuse Jim of killing him with. Jim is all fucked up. And he finds dead Brandon in the water.
No, okay, I've got a few corrections with this.
Oh, great. I do one sports thing wrong, and now I'm getting corrected just left and right.
Okay, well, he's killed by the camera again.
He's killed by a hatchet hammer.
By the camera. And then Brandon Patch is apparently alive enough after being, like a forehead split.
His head's concaved.
Yeah, with a hammered axe. But he's alive enough to reach up and grab Jim.
It's like, when the chickens get their head cut off, but they're still like...
But he's been underwater for quite some time.
Well, he was floating, but then his hand... It was like an involuntary movement.
He reached up and, grabbed him.
It was like the chicken thing. It was an involuntary movement.
Well, I don't know enough about anatomy to say differently, so...
Yeah, I learned it in anatomy and physiology. They do that.
Did you? You'd think with the number of times Linda has problems with the Ouija, she'd stop fucking using it.
You know what? She's a woman. She is persistent. Linda's still having her wackadoodle dreams, but she's also going to give the old Ouija board another spin.
Jesus Christ.
But instead, she decides to take a shower. Booby time.
Why do we have to have Tawny Katane in a full frontal scene? How does this help the movie? Actually, never mind. I retract that question. I'm pretty sure I know how that helped the movie. Okay.
There were boobs in every 80s.
Y'all, this is not just boobies. She does a full frontal.
Yeah, it's all the things. But women were always naked women are naked in movies. Men are late.
80s slasher.
Yeah, 80s slasher
with titties.
Always. Men are a lot more naked now, but women were always naked in 80s slasher films.
You see, real quick, in that In Search of Darkness, I remember one female that's in a billion horror, cheesy horror movies from the 80s. She talks a lot about this, and that she's in one movie, and that she's supposed to answer the door, which is a killer or whatever, but she answers the door in just shorts and no top at all. And she's and she actually had a problem. She's like, that would not happen. What woman shows up to the door with the top half exposed? It just seems so strange. They're like, well, we've got to see your boobs go through the antlers that he puts you on. Seriously, no woman, never shows up like that.
I think it's actually the person I'm getting ready to mention.
Oh, really? Is the blonde?
Yeah. Shooting the shower scene, super difficult for Tawny Katane.
Oh, she was nervous about it?
She was very nervous.
Aww.
All the crew, except for the director and the second camera loader, they were kicked off the set once effects were set up and ready to shoot. It made her feel better, but it really upset the crew, who wanted to hang out and watch, of course. They shot that scene multiple times from several different angles, so Katane spent a ton of time naked and wet. During an interview on the Blu-ray release, the interviewer asked the director if she was game for the shower scene, and he was like, yes and no. He said, she's done nudity before, and he goes, I'm sure she's done it since then. But unlike Linnea Quigley, who's that person that you were talking about.
Yep, that's her. Yep.
Yeah. Who has no problem just taking her clothes off and being naked. Tenny directed her in Night of the Demons.
Mm-hmm.
Tawny made sure it was a very close set and was very worried about how she looked. So it took a lot longer to shoot her shower scene than it did to shoot any of Linnea's nude scenes. So I guess Tawny Katane was like super self-conscious and like...
Did she do nudity before this?
I don't know much that she was in before. I know she did soap operas. Obviously, you're not naked in those, but
I feel like maybe he was like coming up with some excuses to have that. And Quigley, I mean, she didn't love, I think because she was willing to, she was able to get.
So they're like, oh, she's fine with it.
She had beautiful titties, though.
I mean,
I'm sure she probably still does. But it does remind me of Howling 2, that the main werewolf lady, that she showed her boobs, but she didn't want to show her boobs much because she didn't want to be known as that. So then they just put that on the end like 67 times.
Yes.
Silly.
Yes.
God damn, women had it hard in the 80s.
Seriously. I mean, Tawny Katane was beautiful.
How did she die? Are you gonna talk about that at the end?
I think it was like a
substance abuse.
I think it was like opioids or.
I mean, I remember her on Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do my. I almost said annual. Fuck Dr. Drew.
I know.
Disclaimer. Fuck him. Anyway.
Well, it's my annual. We've got a crazy bad opioid problem in this country, and it doesn't make any sense to me that we don't have marijuana legalized in every state, given how much it can help with pain relief.
I think it's incredibly tragic. I really, really do. I find that really, really sad. And fuck Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
And Dr. Phil. Let's go ahead and lump him in too.
Oh God, we're not calling him a doctor.
We can't call him a doctor. They have to sign waivers whenever they appear on his show that he's not actually a psychiatrist. He's not giving medical advice.
Jesus Christ. Fucking piece of shit. What's that other one? Dr. Oz. You're included in there.
Yeah,
fuck you too.
They are the goddamn hat trick of shit doctors.
Yeah, eat shit. Jim finds out that the guy who's pretending to be David is actually a mass murderer who lived in the house Linda and Jim live in. And after Linda escapes the shower, she finds the Ouija board under her robe, and Linda gets full on possessed.
Yeah. So why does she need that silly hat when she's possessed?
Keeps her brain in.
Huh, that's true. And
it looks cool.
You said, why did the real estate agent not let them know that an axe murderer lived at their place prior? That feels like a type of disclosure you need.
They didn't buy this house. They rent this house. A lot of people, this is an apartment. A lot of people live there.
That's true. Okay. I can see.
Jim comes back the next morning and Demon Linda tries to chop him up and then choke him.
Choke him. She's kind of holding him, but he's an axe murderer.
Right. But she
chokes people too?
Well, she's still a woman, and so she's going to get real close and personal. You can't.
I'm surprised they're not like, at this point, because she's choking, her bosom busts out of her, her shirt. That's just how that happens, I guess.
Because she's a woman, she just dumps some poison down him because that's how women kill people.
I guess
it is how women tend to.
It was 5 seconds since I had my last nude scene. I suppose I can put my boobs out again.
Here's my titties. Jim tells Linda he loves her. What? Which almost snaps Linda out of it. Lieutenant What's-His-Face shows up and he is getting ready to shoot Jim when Linda attacks him instead. Demon Linda says, "You're the portal, Jim. Go ahead and kill yourself."
God damn. God damn. Also, the cop comes in with what? Everyone in the building?
Yeah, come on in, guys.
Everybody, you're my backup now.
Well, if it would have been me living there, you wouldn't have had to tell me twice. I'd be like, what's going on? I've got my clue book.
He should have just leaned into the magician cop thing and be like, poof, I'm here.
Right. Da, 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 da,
Look, there's nobody here. Now the whole building. Ta-da.
Yes, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Jim shoots the shit out of the Ouija board. He also falls out the window, but doesn't die. Then Jim and Linda get married in a perfectly 80s wedding.
Dude, those bridesmaid dresses were hysterical in not a good way. And
I've got a picture I can show you of a...
You had better post a picture of you in that bridesmaid dress from the 90s.
Yeah, I will.
That hair, those dresses, holy shit.
I'll do it.
Like emerald green, I think.
It was emerald green.
Was there like a jackety part of it?
Yes, there was.
Okay.
Yes, there was. Also, the end.
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
Woohoo! Yippee! Ow! It was my spooky ending.
Huh?
I should have gotten a button push. I gotta be honest. Going back and editing Volunteers.
Yeah.
And then listening to it.
Yeah.
I should have gotten multiple button pushes with that one. You missed a few. Not, I mean, like you missed a few. You were very kind. And
it was because of the tequila.
Yeah. I listened. I was like, I definitely should have got that button push.
Oh boy.
We, as well as fucking everyone, it seemed like, said TTFN.
Yeah.
And it was after this movie came out.
Oh yeah. Ta-ta for now.
TTFN. It was like that and cut it out.
Cut it out. Well, from Full House.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I honestly, I definitely expected to get a few. It was really hard not to quote this one.
It's
not like Volunteers.
Right.
But it's just because we watch it so much and we just really love camp.
It's so silly. I mean, and I think when you were talking about Brandon Patch. Yeah, and Jim, their scenes together, it's like they were just like didn't like each other or were like competing. They just like they were fine independent of each other, but they chewed the scenes up together. Like they were fighting.
Yes, they were. Yeah, they really. Like the director was going bigger,
right? Yeah,
bigger, and they were like, "Really?"
And they were both like, "Nom nom 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 nom."
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, it really felt like they were holding scripts or something. Like it really was not good, and that was hard to watch. Honestly, because we love this movie so much, it was hard to see it.
I don't think that Jim shaves his nipples. I stand by it.
I don't know. I mean, that's probably a thing, that hair doesn't grow around said nipples, but I'm sorry, your husband did say it just feels very odd. I mean, like there was a good, intersection.
Yeah.
Like there was a good, it was like, it's like his nipples were a roundabout.
Went around.
I will say that handily, the best parts of the movie were the ladies. I think Tawny Katane and Zarabeth, or Linda and Zarabeth were great.
Yeah.
Tawny Katane was great in it.
I think she's great in it. And she was, well,
when she's possessed, that's when she really was good.
Yeah. She was, honestly, it's when she is the best in it. Because she's kind of milquetoast. Maybe that's the point.
Yeah.
When she's just herself. Maybe that is the point, actually, because she was kind of a nothing burger. But when she's possessed, she's really good. But the 80s, because MTV came out, like videos were everything. But I am telling you, when that White Snake video came out, with her doing like the gymnastics on the hood of the car.
It can't be underestimated.
That video was... that video was crazy.
We didn't have the internet readily available in the 80s. That wasn't a thing. However, that would have broken the internet. Like that would have been the thing. I mean, because it was constant. Like you could not avoid that. And I don't care who you were, everybody was fascinated with it. She's just so incredible. She was so incredibly magnanimous, but like.
Magnetic,
she absorbed attention in the best possible way. Like, I don't think she could avoid it.
She was so beautiful and enchanting that you haven't said anything about her being a ginger.
Nope. I specifically put something in my notes about that. I'm not saying anything about her being a ginger.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything bad about her.
Yeah.
Her, like, the hair in that opening scene was insane.
It was a little crazy.
It was like big, like a televangelist.
Mm-hmm.
It was just humongous.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I honestly think that Zarabeth is kind of a breath of fresh air, because she comes in and she's not just comic relief. She just I hate to say it, but I think she was just such a better actor than all of them.
She's really good.
Yeah. She knew how to her lines. And even when she's like as David or whatever, she's incredible.
Oh, she was fantastic as David.
Yeah. Like, pretending to be, you know.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're going to put it on Instagram, but do you want to say the rest of our October movies?
I do. So obviously we've got Witchboard first. And then I'm going to take the pro on the next one, which is Near Dark. Ugh, I can't fucking wait. And then after that, KATRINA is going to take the pro for Child's Play. And then after that, KATRINA takes the pro again for Frailty. And then we're ending the month of October with one of my, I'm going to be the pro for Trick or Treat. I think I've hinted at this before. There is no greater, you know, malevolent spirit coming out of your vinyl records and getting you to kill. And it has Ozzy Osbourne in it.
It has Ozzy Osbourne in it. And it is so, and it has...
And, Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons. It has the guy, one of the dancers from Chorus Line.
Which is bizarre because we, and I think our brother Sean, and maybe our brother Jason as well, like, we all thought he was like a real musician.
Right, yeah.
Musician in the movie. Like, I was shocked to find out that he actually isn't.
Right.
Oh, and what, a guy from Growing Pains, right? Or no.
Yeah.
Was it Growing Pains or was it?
No, from Family Ties.
Family Ties, yeah.
Yeah, he was Michael P. Keaton's best friend.
Yeah, it's not
Skippy.
Skippy,
yeah.
Oh, that one's going to be great. That one's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. And again, I am going to put these on Instagram.
Yeah.
But you're going to get a bunch from us this month, so I hope you guys want to hear.
Yeah. It's going to be spooky.
Thanks for listening to us talk nonsense about horror movies.
Horror.
I will try very, very hard not to call you a whore or a drunk for the rest of the month.
Aw.
Yeah. I'm going to do my best.
Well, that is a trick.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
That'll be a treat for you.
Yeah, it will.
Well, until next time, goodbye, Katrina Porter.
Bye, Anna Serene.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.